All right, everyone, Joe Biden is not disappointing me. Again, assuming that his fraud-based asterisk presidency begins, I've always expected, I said this when he first entered the primaries, he finally got over the death of, the son that wasn't smoking crack and banging his dead brother's widow, and he got over it and said, well, I guess I'll run for the presidency because, I'm old and I don't have any fucking thing else to do. I'm tired of having to hear from my bitch-ass son, so let me become president so I can just have the Secret Service take care of him like the big baby he actually is. And so Joe Biden was predictable. From day one, I said, look, he might lurch to the left to pick up some voters in the primaries, and he did. But ultimately, if he actually wins the election, he's going to go back to the center. He's going to be very consistent with what he's been doing since the 1970s, since the Jimmy Carter administration era. And all of the leftists that vote for him are fools. They either actually believe his bullshit, in which case they're goddamn idiots, or they don't really believe it and they're just saying, oh, well, I guess I'll have brunch now, at least it's not Trump, and they're delusional because they don't realize on some issues, Trump is further left than Joe Biden. You get much further with Trump. If you're a leftist, you have the possibility of meaningful criminal justice reform under Trump. The First Steps Act comes to mind. With Joe Biden, you got the 94 crime bill. You got young black dudes thrown in prison because they had weed 3 times. The actual prison, not the county jail, for multiple year sentences. It's fucking horseshit. And when he chose Kamala Harris, again, another tough on crime person pretending to be far left, it was even funnier. Because some of these people said, well, but she's a woman of color and therefore I can deal with this. Fucking crazy. So when Joe Biden, the other day on Twitter, came out and gave a little message. Oh yeah, I know that people are hurting. But people aren't asking for a handout. They just want government to understand them. What was it? He's quoting his dad, which he constantly does when he's lying. It's a way, his dad and dogs are the 2 things he always inevitably talks about if he wants to con you, and he's a master at doing this. Don't underestimate, he might be demented, but he's not fucking dumb. He's very, very good at getting people to go along with him by doing the cutesy thing. Oh yeah, I broke my foot probably because I'm in a demented haze at the time and tripped and fell like old fucking elderly people tend to do, breaking bones in the process. Oh, I'll invent a cute story about how I was chasing my dog out of the shower trying to grab its tail. He does this over and over again. Well, it's definitely brunch and warm sweater time, as Zhank from the Young Turks might claim, but I'm loving it. Because I'm on, on Twitter, obviously, YouTube. I'm watching the skeptic left. The people that they've always been left. I don't think that they've abandoned their principles so much as they're palling around with self-proclaimed communists while pretending to be social democrats in most cases. The skeptic left, which has career issues, I think, at this point, they're all upset. They're like, oh my God, this isn't what we want, Joe. No, we want stimulus like the Canadians did. We want free health care. Freeze, and these people make decent salaries. They'll be paying through the nose. I hope they realize this. We want free health care, subsidies, and student loan forgiveness. You're not going to get these things. Even Kamala the writing is on the wall. Look at what Joe Biden has done in the wake of winning not only potentially the general, we'll say the jury is still out on that because SCOTUS hasn't ruled yet and the electors haven't voted, saying that he did. He's been very consistent. Look at gun control. He's done this like 5 fucking times already. It's not even January, dude. The writing's on the goddamn wall for the leftists. Ha ha, sticks hex in him or fucking told you so. Look at gun control. He ran on an omnibus platform. It was right on his website until he got elected. Did you read it? We're going to ban them assault rifles. We're going to ban them high-capacity magazines. We're going to make sure that all guns have locks on the smart guns, which is to say dumbass guns, because you'd have to be a dumbass to actually own one, because it's fucking stupid. Yeah, so you break into your home, but the dude that owns the guns at work so his wife can't defend herself because he's got a chip on the gun. That's fucking stupid beyond belief. He said he was going to ban them. No more high-capacity magazines, which is, anything that holds a modern amount of bullets. Anything after the 1900s technologically, I guess. The 19-aughts. We're going to ban the assault weapons, which is to say sporting rifles that look scary. Oh my god, it has a pistol grip. Oh my god, it's got a black finish. Oh shit, you put a suppressor on it. It's now a totally different class of weapon, despite the fact that you can take it back off in 10 seconds. He claimed he wanted to ban these things. Look at his recent proposal. Oh, we're not banning them. No. We're just going to create a registry of all these things and tax you on them because he's a money-grubbing fucking neoliberal cunt. That's always what he was going to do. Here's another problem. The far left will get involved, by which I mean like the Elon Omars and AOCs, the dunderhead bimbo left. They're going to get involved, and these people, even if they have the Senate, by the way, you watch, Obama had this problem. Biden will try to pass his watered-down gun control. The far left will keep tacking on more onerous things, and it'll never even get past committee. And then within 2 years, of course, he's a lame duck because of a red wave midterm. If he's still even president by then, he might have an aneurysm and resign. He's talking about how if he disagrees with Kamala, he'll contract a disease and resign. That would be funny. Well, he's already got one. It's called Alzheimer's. Thankfully, it's not transmissible. Unless you want to eat people's brains like one of those cannibal tribes that have problems with whatever the fuck, I can't remember the name of the syndrome. Prions, basically. It's a human version of mad cow. But that's just one example. What about student loan debt forgiveness? Kamala already told you what her plan was, and Biden, he probably wouldn't even do this. $10,000 of student loan debt forgiveness, which is conditional, by the way, highly conditional. So basically, screw anyone who already paid theirs off. You don't matter. If you got more than 10K of it, the government will give you some money, but then, you're going to get taxed more because, at the very least, the Trump tax cuts expire because Biden won't renew them, by the way, which is his fucking fault. You'll be paying at least as much per month if you're in the middle class as you're saving on the student loan payments. Can you refi? Those are low-interest loans, by the way. Some people bitch about the interest rates on student loans. How much real-world experience do you have with credit lines? They're low-interest loans. I neglected mine for years and fucked my credit temporarily, by the way, in the process. Not a whole lot of interest actually accrued, and I had tens of thousands of dollars of student loan debt. You gotta understand that it compacts over time. Do what you can. Take responsibility. I feel real damn sorry because I know what it's like to be poor and saddled with debt and sort of hopeless. I feel real sorry for people in that situation, but asking other people to subsidize them is not the answer. It's just not going to work long term. By the way, we've already got student loan debt forgiveness for people who I think go 10 years making their payments consistently without lapse. I think if you do that, you can have it written off, the federal loans by the government. It counts as income, so you still have to pay part of it in tax form, but it's a considerable savings. That's basically Kamala's plan anyway. So what, you're just going to extend that to people who haven't repaid things? People who are fiscally irresponsible? People who are probably subsequently not going to add much to the economy? It's going to be a wash. So you're not, and Biden probably would water it down further. It might be 5K. Maybe it'll be 0. Maybe he won't get anything passed because it'll be too fucking stupid. The left will balk. It's not enough, says AOC, so I won't vote for it. I want it all. That's the way the far left works. They expect Biden to do their bidding. You are a fly, you are a small speck within the party. You are a tiny minority of Democrats. Of the supposed 80 million people, which I highly doubt that supposedly voted for Biden, how many of those people are actually progressive or socialistic? Probably less than 10 million. The vast majority of them are standard neoliberals and business Dems, both of which are far larger in number. Joe Biden is not going to lurch far left after a general, sowing the seeds of the repercussions of losing everything in the midterms and becoming a lame duck, because it's not strategically wise, and the neoliberals may be evil, but they are strategically intelligent. And this is what the far left, the skeptics, the breadliners, and all of these other morons don't understand. They don't understand politics. That's the funny part. They talk about it constantly, but they don't understand anything about it, which may explain why they're leftists. They don't understand that in order to have any mandate at all, you have to be able to win first and then negotiate thereafter. You can't simply say, well, this is what I want, and I expect to get it all, and fuck you. You'll never win. And if you rig your way into the election winning on that platform, unless you want an autocracy, it's just not going to work. You can't have a properly functioning republic, a constitutional system, with the concept of freedom and basic natural rights of man. You can't have such a system with far-left centralization. They simply cannot coexist. Find a fucking example of it ever successfully working. It doesn't. It devolves into an authoritarian system. It's spontaneous. It's automatic. It also doesn't work long-term fiscally and tends to collapse itself, which is a good thing for the people there, because then they may be in a dysfunctional post-Soviet state, but at least they're not under communism anymore. There's light at the end of the tunnel. It might be a ways off, but keep fucking walking towards the glory that is capitalism and thus inevitable within our lifetime. Biden promises understanding. But we don't want understanding. We want a monthly stipend for free. Why don't you campaign for the government to end the fucking lockdown so people can get back to business? Then you don't need the stipend. Oh, wait. That would require that people work. That would require that you have a properly functioning free market economy in which people have upward mobility. Now, instead, they want to put everybody on goddamn life support. And you know, if they did pass a UBI-style stipend, you know that it would be phased out for the middle class. It would impact the very poor and the working class, be paid for by the middle class. The billionaires are not going to get taxed under a Biden admin. Amazon, for the first time, actually paid federal taxes in the last fiscal year because of Donald Trump's tax reform. Wasn't even talked about in the news, because they lost some of their loophole leverage. Still a low tax, but they paid it. It actually got paid. Before that, they paid zero. I'd call that an improvement now, wouldn't I? But of course, if you're a leftist, you don't want that. You want them to be, you think that wealth is measured only in terms of dollars as far as physical greenbacks go, and you think that Jeff Bezos should be able to pay $50 billion a year for the privilege of running Amazon while having to pay his workers 2 or 3 times what he pays them now. And somehow, by the way, that'll never trickle down to higher costs. Somehow that will never make the consumer pay more. These people are out to lunch. They just don't get it. That's about all. Peace out.